Update you, of course, with all that is happening around us. Welcome once again, and thank you for this opportunity. My name is Tonite Ibitoye. I will start by quickly introducing you to my partners on the program. Starting from my immediate right, I have Kunle Phillips. Kunle is joining us on Sports Tonight for the very first time.
Yeah. Good evening to the esteemed viewers out there. It's nice being on the show, particularly with someone who I've actually always been looking up to as my mentor. I know you'll be surprised that I'm saying this right now. Of course, I'm really very delighted to be in the live studio of Channels Television.
Yeah, Kunle, it's good to have you as well.
Thank you very
much. And of course, Toby Adepoju is not a stranger here. Toby has been here several times.
Yep.
Good to have you back with us on Sports Tonight.
Yeah,
Toby.
good evening, Tori. Good to be back here. And like you said, you're always a mentor to everyone. So it is a pleasure to have you on stage this night.
Okay, it's okay. All right, but let me just quickly give those watching at home an idea of what we'll be talking about on the program tonight. Today has been a very busy day for Nigerian football. Remember that a couple of weeks ago, maybe a little over 2 or 3 weeks ago, the scandalous scoreline, 79-0 in one game, 67-0 in another game, all on one day. A playoff match in the Nigeria National League, Nigeria Nationwide League. Today, the NFF pronounced judgment on the officials and the players. We'll talk about that later on. We'll give you details of all of that. And of course, we will spend plenty of time on the program this night to reflect on the Globe Premier League. Gentlemen, games were played yesterday with 22 matches of the Globe Premier League. A lot of interesting results. One game abandoned. Interestingly, that was the only game where an away team was coasting home to victory. We'll talk about it, and in our usual style on a Monday, give you a comprehensive review of the Globe Premier League. We'll talk about the teams at the top. We'll talk about the teams at the bottom, outstanding team, outstanding player, and also give you a lineup of the top scorers in the Globe Premier League. We'll do plenty of that on the program tonight. And, well, the fallout of the Globe Premier League is the fact that some games were played behind closed doors, and even sports writers were not allowed to see those games. So we will talk about that situation and see if it is healthy and see if it is something that is allowed in football. Of course, we will talk about the National League as well. The National League is also having... They started well. I mean, we were praising them. I remember we were praising them a lot, but now it's withdrawal after withdrawal. Yes. Teams are just pulling out of the National League. So we'll talk about it as well on the program tonight. We will also spend some time to continue what we did on Friday. On Friday, we talked about the FCT Queens, Abuja, the sport others in Abuja. We commended them on Friday for standing up for the girls. We'll give you an update on that as well. I think it's good. It's encouraging what Abuja sport others are doing, fighting for the women, because everybody talks about the guys. Everybody is focused on the men. Football, people are not looking at what the girls are doing, and the girls were always giving us something to be happy about. Until recently,
they've won plenty of titles.
Plenty of titles.
National teams, and we've not really, give them the better treatment needed. Even the league, we talk about the national team, how shambolic they had in the last Nations Cup, but we abandoned the league.
They have not looked at why the national team is not performing.
It's not performing. We abandoned the league. You expect the national team to perform in magic. It's not possible.
We don't even have a coach at the moment. It's really very sad.
The senior women's national team
doesn't have a coach.
Don't have a coach.
For
Which of the national teams have got a coach?
Even at some point,
the last tournament, everybody is supposed to go look for new coaches.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate, and we really appreciate what the Swan Abuja has really done on this one, and we just hope other state Swan could just emulate this and support this women football. They need media help at this one. They need every stakeholder help, and hopefully the NFF and also the league organizer led by Dilishiku will get it right.
Okay, so we'll talk about the women as well and talk about all of that. Well, we will not just be limited to what is happening on the domestic scene. We will go abroad. Today, World Soccer Governing Body, just a couple of hours ago, lifted the ban on Cameroon. So it's jubilation on the streets of Yaoundé as we speak.
And also for us, because of our referee, Peter Edibi, because his partner to the World Cup will come from Cameroon. And if they fail to make it, Peter will not be there.
Oh, so there's a Nigerian angle to it for Peter Edibi. All right, so that's why there should be jubilation for us as well. But I've always known that Cameroon cannot just be thrown out that way. That something was always going to happen. But we'll talk about it. We'll give you details of what that is going on in Cameroon. There was a compromise between FIFA and the Cameroon Football Association there was a normalization committee set up that started work today, and once they got started, FIFA had no choice than to lift the ban on Cameroon. But we'll talk about it as we go on. It's all football politics on the African continent. And of course, over the weekend, there were games in the CAF Champions League, gentlemen, and the CAF Confederations Cup. The sad news for us is that no Nigerian team is left in the group phase, either through their own doing or somehow. I mean, I don't know what you guys feel about this. We're celebrating the fact that this year we had about 6 home lads in our main team for the first time going into a major competition and winning it after 19 years. We were celebrating the fact that we had about 6 of these guys, home-based players, and we were expecting that these guys will bring that experience, will bring that quality into their different clubs.
To the clubs, you know, to help the league and also
in the league.
Even though it's going to the continental football, and we need to prove our what
going into the continent.
And you know, very unfortunate. Last season we got a Sunshine Stars, you know, won the semi-final in 2 seasons back. Yes, the likes of Warri Wolves could not make it to the group stages, but it's very, very unfortunate. Rangers did everything, even though they were very poor in the CAF Champions League.
United, we had Sunshine in the group phase.
In the group phase, and you know, Sunshine Stars at the end of the day, you know, get to the semi-final. Last season, three failed to reach the group stage, and you know, Sunshine Stars made it to the semi-final before they lost to the champions Al Ahly. And this season, it was very, very horrible for us. But eventually, you know, Rangers, you know, did everything possible to get to the CAF Competition Cup after losing out of the CAF Champions League. I mean, all expecting them to have a very good performance at the CAF Competition, but because of what happened and you know the way we do things here, that really caught us up, you know, caught on us.
Supposed to be in action over the weekend, but they said there was an appeal. We'll talk about it later on. We'll talk about it later on. But the fact of the case is that there were games in the CAF Champions League, games in the CAF Confederations Cup. No Nigerian club. Rangers were told have
still waiting for the appeal.
But I don't know what will happen to the appeal because already the group phase has started. 6% that took their place have already played the game, have already won the game. So I don't know what that will portend for Rangers. But of course, as we go along on Sports Tonight, we will also ask you to tell us what you feel. Give us your own opinion. Our feedback mechanism on Sports Tonight is a very key part of the program. We will ask you to talk to us and tell us exactly what you feel about some of the issues that we would have raised going on Sports Tonight. So we'll make it as interactive as possible and try to hear your own side of all that is going on. All right. I never knew there was so much of a Nigerian angle to this. So it's good news. I'm happy for Peter Edibi. Probably will become the first Nigerian to be at the Senior World Cup.
And he has done well with the last assignment, and we just hope to see him
at the World Cup. He's close to being at the World Cup now. So that's a good one. All right. So that's the setting for Sports Tonight this Monday. I'm sure you are in for a swell time. And please stay with us as we go along. Gentlemen, let's start off from what happened today. Just a couple of hours ago, the Nigerian Football Federation came out with pronouncements announcing all kinds of bans and suspensions for those that were involved in what was an international embarrassment for Nigerian football. About 2 weeks ago, all those, the 69, 79, 0 and all of that. Before I get your reaction to all of that, let's pause for a break. When we return, we will talk about it, the punishment for the offenders, and what the way forward will be for Nigerian football after what was an embarrassment of unbelievable proportions.